Hey guys, I want to look at the start of World War II and Hitler's rise to power. This is always confusing for kids because they think, everyone knows Hitler, and they say, how does this guy get to be the most ruthless, powerful dictator in world history? And it's not by accident. Okay, now we go back 1919. All right, Treaty of Versailles. We looked at this, we arm wrestled, all right, and what happened is Germany, wins the battles, 1914, 15, 16, 17, and then the U.S. comes in and they lose World War I, and the Treaty of Versailles really punishes them to the fullest extent of the law, okay? Now, the war reparations, this is going to be huge, $33 billion they have to pay back, and who do they have to pay back? The countries they just got done fighting against, okay? The military, they put the limits on their military. Remember the causes of World War I, militarism, alliances, imperialism, nationalism. This is trying to take away their strong militaristic, country, okay? 100,000 men is nothing, all right? Loss of territory, a lot of this territory that they gained before the war, during the war, was taken from them. Okay, they lose it. A lot of it's given to France, who is their sworn enemy. Just fueling the fire again, taking away the imperialism aspect. Okay, now the war guilt. All right, 100% of the war's responsibility falls on Germany. Now, was it all Germany's fault? No. We looked at the alliances. Okay. Austria-Hungary with Serbia, and brings in Russia, and then brings in Germany and France and Great Britain. Okay, but no, 100% of the war gets pinned on Germany. Okay, and what sort of problems do you think come from this? They start having this deep-seated resentment, anger, really at the rest of Europe, and get almost a chip on your shoulder. Okay, it's like when someone tells you can't do something, and then you want to make sure that you do it just to prove them wrong and stick it to them. This is what happens to the country of Germany. Okay, so what happens with Germany is their economy is just destroyed. Okay, the war was going on in their country. Their roads are busted, their bridges are broken, their schools are shut down. Their country's in ruins. Now, not only do they have to fix their stuff, they have to pay to fix the problems and the damage done in the other countries. So what they start doing is they start printing off money to pay off these reparations. Now, kids always say, Mr. Flynn, we're in debt, $16 trillion. Let's just print more money. Let's just print more money. And the problem with this is that your money is only worth what you have it backed up. Okay? Now, what happens in Germany is they have this phenomenon known as hyperinflation. Now, this isn't, an ADHD Germany all, hopped up on Mountain Dew. This is probably the worst inflation in the history of the world. Okay. Now, we see inflation, okay, the gas prices change and you can't buy a bag of Cheetos for what you used to. Wait till you see what happens in Germany. Okay. Now, in January 1921, okay, if you were to go to Germany and you had $1 US and you could exchange it for 64 German marks, okay, the exchange rate, so if you go to Mexico, you give them $1, they give you 10 pesos, all right. When they had this hyperinflation, okay, look at this number here, all right, $1 US, all right, 4.2 trillion marks, okay? Your money is worth nothing. Money is worth nothing, okay? Now, to illustrate this, okay, let's say this is the amount of money you have in your reserve, okay? Represented by this tasty Hawaiian punch, okay? Now, if you print off more money, okay, well, now let's see what happens here. We have more money. Does it look like more money? Yes, it looks like more money. But what happened to the strength of that money? It's diluted. okay, it's not worth as much. There's still only this much Hawaiian punch in there. Even though I put water in there, that just makes it worth less, okay? It's watered down. Now, if you figured out, what happens with Germany is, let's say I have this much Hawaiian punch in a swimming pool, and I fill the swimming pool with water, and now it's that diluted, it's not worth anything. These are stacks of money, okay? This is what $1 is worth, stacks of money, okay? People burning their money, all right? It's just insane to think, wood is more expensive than the money that you have, okay? Or, you can't afford toy blocks, just use stacks of money, because the money is worthless, okay? Wallpaper, all right? And I would bet that some people used it as toilet paper because it's not worth anything, okay? Just got paid, you got to go to the bank with a wheelbarrow. I mean, it's just crazy. There's a story where this woman goes to the market. She has her money in a bread basket, okay? And she goes into the market. She leaves her bread basket out in front, all right? And it's just got stacks of money. I mean, billions and billions of German marks. And she comes out, okay, and what do you think she sees? She sees a stack of money. A thief came by and took her basket and left the money because the basket was worth more than the money. Okay, so this is what's going on in Germany. All right, people can't buy anything. You think about a pair of shoes. Okay, 32 trillion marks, and this happens with one egg. All right, 80 billion marks. I mean, what happens with this inflation is just insane. And I can't stress this enough that you can't earn enough money. All right. Now, what happens, okay, so their economy is destroyed, and Germans need help. And these problems are continuing through the 20s. I mean, we're going through our depression in the 30s. This happened to them in the 20s, okay? So their Great Depression is a little bit before ours, and it kind of continues, at the beginning of ours, they're kind of getting out of their depression. Okay, their unemployment, 30%. This is worse than it ever was in the United States. All right, ours was 25%, 32, 33. And Hitler comes in and promises change now. Okay, we're going to get our feet back on the ground. We're going to unite as Germans. We're going to punish the people that did this to us, and we're going to come out stronger and better than we ever were. Okay, now, what he starts doing is he starts creating these programs, okay, putting people back to work. Building, they build the Autobahn, the highway system, which he's secretly getting ready to have a mass transportation system during the war. Opening factories to build machines, which will be converted into weapons machines during the war. And one of them that's just, it's interesting, is they have this National Labor Service. Now, what this is, he creates public works jobs. Now, a lot of these things are going to sound very familiar, okay? This RAD program, okay, men, they go to these camps, they put on uniforms, they get free meals, they get a little pocket money. You can see them here marching with their shovels, okay? Digging ditches, schools, roads, planting trees. Does this sound familiar? It should. Okay, this is pretty much the CCC, all right? So what happens is he can't have the men in the military, but he's getting them ready, so when Hitler's ready to strike, he has men trained. So he's putting millions of men in these programs, and then when he gets strong enough, they just convert them, and they get rid of the shovel, and they are part of the German army. Okay, because they keep saying, do they have any men in their military? No, we have 100,000 men in our army, and those million men in that labor service program, that's something different. Okay, they're just building schools and fixing roads. Okay, but no, it's this military training kind of in disguise. All right, so Hitler is getting ready for war. He's creating millions of jobs, and all of these factories are easily converted to weapons factories, tanks, bombs, grenades, all this stuff, so that he's getting ready until he's ready to attack Poland in 1939, and World War II starts. Okay, so as far as what happens in Germany, they are destroyed by the Treaty of Versailles. They have crazy problems, hyperinflation, unemployment, and Hitler comes in to fix all this. And he does a pretty good job of fixing the unemployment, getting people back to work. But his ultimate goal is getting them ready for war. Okay, now we're going to look at what happens in other countries at this time.